one very interesting and very, I don't know, I guess a complicated topic is piracy. Piracy seems to be, the thing that is condonable just by saying it. Like, it's intrinsically wrong. And I mean, it's stealing, so yeah, sure. Well, I guess it's stealing. So I guess that's wrong. But why is stealing wrong? Well, let's not get into that whole ethical discussion, but it seems to me like, I mean, everybody is condoning and everybody is condemning piracy, but I mean, it's what pisses me off about all these, digital right managements and all these preventions that that developers are taking and publishers, the methods they take to ensure that nobody is, or as few people as possible, are downloading their games illegally. I mean, I don't know, it just, the whole mentality of how much they spend on trying to prevent it is kind of ridiculous. Because, I mean, I don't support piracy, but I understand pirates. And in some cases, man, I'm like, like, come on. Sometimes, like, alright, let's just start from the beginning here. If you don't have enough money to buy a game, and then you instead choose to download it legally, I guess that's pretty messed up. Well, I mean, pirating regardless is messed up, I know, but I'm trying to just make a point here of the whole, if whether or not your motivations are good or not. Because, like, I dislike the fact that I'm, part of my money, or large chunk of my money, are going to go to the publishers rather than to the developers. That kind of bugs me a little. I mean, I know that publishers are a necessary evil, but when you have cunts like Activision and EA and Ubisoft, and you have to pay those assholes money, like, just, it kind of hurts every time you just thinking of it just hurts. I really don't want to support Activision in any way. I don't want to support EA either. But hey, sometimes you gotta go with the lesser evil, and the lesser evil is hopefully that the game is, that the game outweighs the pain that buying that game causes you, because you're, supporting that publisher. I mean, a good example is when Ubisoft decided to implement their DRM in Assassin's Creed. Like, there's no way to defend it. Just, fuck you, Ubisoft. Like, if you wanna, like, as I said, I condemn piracy as well, but you gotta be smart about it. If you wanna punish pirates, hey, that's fine by me. If you wanna send them on a train to Siberia where they have to, mine for salt for the rest of their lives, that's cool. You won't hear me objecting against that, ever. But if you're punishing, loyal customers, loyal fans, if you're punishing them by restricting the access that they have to their game that they just invested, however much they just paid for it, that's fucked up, and I'm not gonna support that in any way. Forget it. I'm not. Period. That's bullshit. Like that's when I hear that people still pirated Assassin's Creed 2, I'm happy. I seriously am happy. I was planning on buying either the black or either the white edition or the black edition, where you get the little statue and all of those things. Like, I was seriously contemplating on buying one of those editions. But when I heard that they were going to implement the whole DRM, I just said, you know what, fuck it. Fuck you. If you don't want my money, that's fine. I won't give you it. Because I have other ways to play your games. Like, no, like, DRM I cannot support. I cannot. That tips me over instantly to pirates. I'm in the favor of pirates when it comes to that. Seriously, it's so easy to condemn pirates, but when you start to just think about why they're pirating, it starts making a lot of sense. Whether it's because you don't want to support the publishers, or because you think that, you know, the publishers take far too much of a stake, you know, in the revenue that the developers are producing for both of them, or if it's because of some shitty fucking implementation of bullshit that you don't want to support, then hey, I understand. It's still wrong, but I understand. I mean, if you're gonna like, what bothers me is also that rather than publishers and developers, you know, acknowledging the situation and doing something about it in a positive manner, they just keep on pushing this fucking DRM shit. I mean, now Blizzard is gonna implement their bullshit DRM on Diablo 3 when it's not needed. Diablo 3 doesn't need a DRM. It doesn't. and they're fucking shoving it down our throats anyway. And I love how you know, some dude, I don't remember who it is, at id, who said, yeah, I think that Blizzard are the only ones who can force gamers to accept DRM. Like, I just love that he formulated like that. Once again, pushing id further and further away from me. Like, I have zero respect for those dudes anymore. I mean, come on, they made Quake and fucking Doom, and now, like, they're on the, like, it's insane, like, how they made a complete 180. Now they're just nothing for me. Like, they just released Rage, and the Rage is shit. Like, forget it. I'm not interested in anything you have to say, or any of your games. Fuck you. And, you know, it's just like, how about developers and publishers, rather than focusing this much on and putting such large emphasis on DRM, how about you guys trying to make as good a game as possible? Invest those money that you would otherwise invest in DRM, and invest it further into the game, so you make as good as a game you can. That way you ensure that the money that your fans, your customers, your gamers, like the gamers, so that the gamers, that when they buy that, they feel like they haven't been cheated, you know? They feel like, wow, this is worth every penny that I just paid. How about that? How about rewarding your customers for buying your games, rather than punishing them? Are you fucking mad? Like, fuck, like, I can't understand the stupidity, it's insane. Like, implementing a DRM, like, how about you include something that, you know, says thanks to people who buy the game, rather than punishing them for buying the game? Like, punish the pirates, don't punish the people who fucking paying you money for your product. Like, it's so baffling to me. I cannot for the love of me understand it. What the fuck? Are they on drugs or something? What, are they even thinking? Are they using their brain? Are they brain dead? I'm still trying to fucking understand it. Like, I can't. Like, I just cannot fathom it. Why implement stupid fucking retarded DRMs that punish the customer? Like, I understand you want to protect your products, and I'm on your side on that, but I'm not on your side when you're fucking your customers in the process of doing that. Fuck. And now Blizzard's gonna do, like, the trend is pretty obvious. I mean, more and more people are gonna start using DRMs, and it's horrible. Like, rather than just focusing on just making as good a game as possible, and just making that game that you purchase worth every penny. Like, you know when the rare times, like the rare times when you buy a game and you feel like, wow, I just cheated the developers. Like, I paid too little for this game, you know that feeling? That feeling should come with every fucking game. But when it's not, when you're just recycling the same shit and you expect people to pay for it, and you even have the nerves of implementing a DRM, like, it baffles me. And not only that, but the overpricing. The overpricing of games is just ridiculous. It's a joke. It's a farce. Like, in Sweden, a new game costs 70 euros. a console game. A new console game, a brand new console game costs 70 euros.
Rumors began to circulate.
70 euros. Do you hear how much that is? A brand new game, a brand new console game. For PC it's 50 euros. That's still so much money. Are you nuts? You cannot be serious. You're expecting us to pay that much for a brand new game that we might think is shit and is not worth our money. You actually expect us to pay that much money for a shit game, which you even implemented a shitty DRM on? Like, no, just period. Like, I don't support piracy, but I understand piracy. I do. Like, doesn't make sense to me. If you're gonna do anything, then fuck, reward people who buy the games. How? I don't know. Pre-order exclusives. That's a start. Those who buy the game new, they get something, you know, something more.
Where do you think you're going? The data core room is for authorized personnel only. You're not gonna get in there.
You're kidding me. They sent me all the way up here without the correct authorization papers. Man, what I wouldn't give to be one of you security guys. You probably got the right clearance, right? I bet you've got free access to every room in this building.
Almost. And what I can't get into, I can usually see on the security room monitors.
Like the room next door. Tell me, is that the only security room monitoring the data core?
No, there's a second one inside. Doesn't show as much, but it does control most of the lasers in there. And it's air conditioned.
Nice.
Yeah, except sometimes the cold air coming out of the vent fucks up one of the lasers. Damn thing starts blinking. Maintenance is supposed to take a look at it, but the way things move around here, I ain't holding my breath.
I know what you mean. Slowest department in the building. But then they probably can't get the clearance.
Like the next DLC or expansion that you release, they get that for free. Huh? How about that? Like, why not reward loyal customers? Why keep overpricing everything? Why be so greedy? Like, for me, piracy is not some kind of evil. Like, I don't see people who pirate. Like, I don't see pirates as some kind of evil dudes just sitting there thinking about how they're gonna bring about the doom of every publisher and developer out there. No, I just see somebody who has integrity, who values their money and their time, and that they're not gonna just spend it on anything. Like, the ridiculous overpricing of games is just, it's crazy. Like, I don't understand how developers and how publishers, but I doubt the developers have much say in how much they're gonna price their games. But when you put a ridiculous price on a game and you expect customers to pay for it, like, there are some people who are gonna pay for it regardless because they're fans of the series. So they pay and they feel like, wow, this is a very lackluster game. It's not worth my money. And then you're surprised when the next time they pirate your game rather than buying it. Don't be surprised. I mean, you failed. You failed to compete in a competitive market. I mean, you just failed. Period. Make games that are worth our time, our energy, our passionate loyalty, our money. Just make games that are worth all that. Make games that reward